What's up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Hangout and Hobby. I'm Richard Siegler.
I'm John Lennon.
And we are going to be talking about all sorts of 40k stuff today. And painting stuff.
And we will be painting.
What are you working on, John?
Well, I was just going to put a wash in this model and let it dry for 2 hours, and I figured I would
do it in the first
No, I am actually working on some Invictor tactical war suits as part of my effort to just kind of have all the Space Marines. These Invictors were next in line, so I've got 3 of these bad boys ready to put some paint on it.
And how do you think you might be using them, and why might you be using Invictors?
I think that these will be used as Ultramarines to take advantage of their forward deployment and the Ultramarine ability to redeploy. And that seems like just about the best way I can figure to use Invictors. And I think I'm actually going to be trying that out this Thursday in one of our stream games on YouTube. I figure I'm actually quite fond of the Ultramarines. I think they're pretty cool, a little bit undervalued. I want to do what I can to show off these bad boys.
And that's Ultramarines versus Drukari.
It is. Ultramarines versus Drukari. I'm hoping that the Invictors are going to help me deal with the, frankly, terrifying speed of the Dark Eldar. Something's got to deal with it, right?
And the sheer amount of units that they have.
And, yeah, also that.
Invictors and Redemptors have so many guns on them, splitting fire is actually quite easy.
Yep, that's kind of my hope, is I'm hoping that if I've got enough guns, I'll be able to deal with our new Drukari overlords.
I, on the other hand, am working on some Viewerload Breachers.
Ooh.
Check these guys out.
Look at that. Look at that.
They're actually coming together pretty well.
Mm-hmm. I actually quite like the Viewerload color scheme.
Yeah. White is annoying to paint, but Corax White helps.
Corax White Primer is a magical thing. Ulthwyn Gray is possibly the best paint GW makes.
Yeah, I'm at the bare minimum here, so I need to actually order another one.
Yep. Oh, I have some as well. I actually have 2.
Okay, this one's running.
All right. This is when that's out, let me know.
A long time in the making.
Yeah. When that one's just kaput, just let me know, and I'll see if I can shop it. Absolutely. I'll probably be putting some white on today as well. Hopefully I can... I've got 3 Invictors on the desk here, and I don't think we're getting all 3 done today, but I would like to make some pretty good progress, and maybe in Wednesday's paint stream, we'll be able to finish them off.
Hey, Ashley in chat. How's it going, that Hope you were doing well.
Is that Lantrafalina?
That is
That's Lantrafalina. What's up,
formerly Lantrafalina.
Formerly, now merely Ashley.
Ashley Thompson.
How are you doing today? Are you excited about the new Sisters Totally Not a Chaplain?
Dogmata.
The Dogmata. This many Sisters kits coming, I figure this has got to be a codex, right?
Yeah, it must be around the bend.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking at first it may be a campaign supplement, you know, because like they're going to do, I'm sure...
Yeah, like one character or something, maybe an extra unit, but
this is too much. Especially an army set, you know, I think this has got to be codex coming soon.
Yeah. Rip on the Apothecary.
Oh my goodness, the Dark Angel Apothecary's got a nerf this morning. I don't know if you caught that FAQ.
Became a mere human apothecary.
Yeah, you know,
6 inches.
The medical degree from Caliban was worth a lot more than the one from Baal. But apparently they discovered that there actually isn't a difference. So they went right back down to 3 inches. Perfectly reasonable, I can't be mad. Dark Angel Apothecaries are still pretty good, because they get to heal Dark Angels. But yeah, that was an FAQ I have no objection to. Even as someone who frequently plays Dark Angels, that one just makes sense.
Yeah. Because you saw it when it came out, and you were like, 6 inches?
Yeah. See, like, it was 6 inches in the index. I'm like, that's a little bit silly. I'm sure they'll fix it in the codex. And then I'm like, wow, they really wanted it to be 6 inches. And no, they wanted it to be 3.
The copy pasta.
The copy pasta got him again.
Charging the live chat with my 24 attacks and consolidating wherever I want because I'm fair. Get out of here, Dead Souls. No razor flails in this chat.
14 Dead Souls? What? Why are you making 24 attacks?
Only 24?
Did you leave the other 18 at home? What do
you should be making a minimum of 30 attacks on average.
42 is perfectly balanced.
You can't have a 60-point character with anything less than that.
Absolutely not. I mean,
it's silly.
What do you think this is?
Not playtested, that's for sure. Oh, it looks like a package came. Maybe that's our Warpfire order.
Maybe that's a Warpfire order. Should I go check it out?
You can indeed, as soon as you finish putting the shade paint on.
Alright, we're gonna, as soon as we're done with this Invictor, I want to figure that out. You know, I've heard that like unboxing videos are all the rage. Should we just do like a live Warpfire unboxing?
If it is Warpfire.
If it's Warpfire. If it's not Warpfire, I mean...
If it's Nick's personal stuff, also yes.
I mean, what else would we do with it?
Well, you have no idea what that could be.
That's true.
Never know.
Alright, that's one Invictor washed.
Let's see. New Sister Chaplain hype. Yes, indeed. What's up, guys? How was breakfast? Excellent. We always have a hearty breakfast here.
I did. You know what? I actually had a pretty solid breakfast. Had a nice bowl of Cheerios, had an apple. Cheerios.
That's very old school.
I'm old school. Alright, let's go see what we can find out.
Thinking of double Catan is the way to go. Great Verse Sisters, Death Guard, Dark Angels, which are all S tier armies. My only hesitation with Catan, if you're going to run at least 2, if not 3, is Admech is a brutally awful matchup. And if Admech is on the horizon with their new codex, you might just have an awful matchup. And if it's going to be more common because of the codex, it might be tough, honestly. The Admech does so many mortals in any different phase. They've got the bomber, of course, crazy shooting, crazy melee. They can do mortals in the charge phase. They can auto-explode in your turn to do mortals to Catan. They're the worst matchup for Catan, in my opinion. So, hesitant. Let's see what the Admech Codex brings before I would, fully settle on running a lot of Catan.
It's a Warp Fire order.
Ooh,
Warp Fire? Should we open it up?
Yeah, grab some scissors or the
tools. I've already got an exact knife in my hand.
Okay, proud of you, John.
It's open.
John practices knife safety here.
I absolutely do. You always treat a knife as if it's loaded. Right?
Loaded with Warp Fire.
Loaded Warp Fire.
Alright, John is going to unbox this Warp Fire order. I
wonder
if the Piety did that come out yet, or is that next week?
That the Piety from Painbox was part of this. We're going to find out. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly.
Oh!
An Archaeopter Fusilier.
The third one, baby, John.
A third one?
Just in time for Thursday's stream game. I'm going to have to build this in overtime.
Sorry, guys, it looks like it's still out of stock.
John wants to play against 3.
That is not true. We've got not 1 but 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Perhaps these will also feature in some Ultramarine games coming up soon. Interesting. Not too shabby. Then we have not 1 but 2 new books.
Oh, the Book of Rust and the Drukari Codex.
These are all things that I want dearly. We should start doing these on stream more often. This is fun. Unboxing videos. I don't know. I'm excited to read the deep and bountiful lore of the Drukari Codex, where they pillage and destroy every other faction. It's actually quite accurate to the lore.
I just want to hear about the razor flails, John.
Oh my god, the razor flails. How long else have been cooking that up? And of course, what is Piety without pain?
So we finally have the Sister's Lieutenant, which
still doesn't have a points cost.
Really?
Nope.
There's no little book
There's
in here.
There's a data sheet in there. I know what she does.
But no points.
Nope.
Excellente.
It's incredible.
Classic Games Workshop.
Not the best thing.
So we're going to have to wait another 2-3 weeks for the FAQ for Piety and Pain. That'll have the points cost.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening.
Awesome.
I think that's what's happening. But you know what? This is exciting because I have more Sisters Pain. Space Marine Sisters. I played a game or two with this Dark Eldar stuff, and I gotta tell you what, it's pretty powerful. But Faith in the Emperor, it's just so much more rewarding.
There was a very close game in the war room between Sisters and Drukari. So
that is true. That is true.
A lot of play there.
That inspired me to not play Drukari. Gotta go back to the Sisters. Nick can have his Drukari.
How's it going, RJ? What's up? Much love from the Philippines. Thank you so much. Hope you're going to enjoy this. And I cannot wait for all the new stuff that's coming out.
Oh my goodness.
Admech on the horizon. Oh.
All these new Sisters models have me feeling a certain kind of way. It's like I'm...
Which one's your favorite out of the 4?
Out of the new kits that they've...
Yeah. You have the Castigator, you have
You've got Cassie, which also referred to as the Gunnery of the Nunnery. There's the Nundum.
The Nundum.
What's
the actual name of that model?
I don't remember.
The big stompy...
Nundum.
The Dread Knight,
Nundum.
basically.
It's a Nundum.
And then you have the Dogmata and the Palatine.
Yeah. Nundum.
The Nundum?
It's the Nundum. It's gotta be. That thing's so cool.
What do you think of Court of the Archon? They look like good durability for their points with decent damage output. I think they're excellent, honestly.
Yeah, they're actually pretty solid.
The fact that they all went up to 3 wounds, 5 of Pheno Pain on the Urgles and the Slits.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in there. They're only leadership 6. So, I know Nick kind of wants to try out a big squad sometime.
Do they benefit from various Drukari rules?
Blackheart? They are keyword Blackheart,
so
and they are powerful
leadership there. And...
Yeah, so it goes up to 7. They're still pretty cool.
Are there any other leadership pluses? I know Drukari have a lot of minuses.
Not that I'm aware of. I think you maybe take another character in there to make them, because the Lamian is leadership 8. So maybe you take a Lamian after all. I don't really know.
That's why you take the Lamian.
Obviously, that's why you take the Lamian. But yeah, I think that the Court of the Archon is actually pretty solid. So I would not be surprised to see it in the list. I don't think it's a must-have. I think Drukari is so deep as a faction that there isn't a single must-have unit. But definitely, like, it's actually pretty good. All right, 1 Invictor washed and loaded.
If you want to run Court of the Archon, this is the time.
That is true. That is
It's
true.
everything.
If you've been waiting to run the Court of the Archon, it is not getting any better than this. I just wish... Oh, man. I want to use beasts. I like the beasts a lot.
Beastmasters?
I don't think that they're good. Because they don't get the Witch Cult keywords. They don't get any of the... They're just...
I think they're still paying the sins for the Razorwing Flocks.
Yeah, no, that's... That was bad. That was actually very bad.
They don't want 60 birds on the table.
Didn't know that was bad.
Only Nick wants 60 birds on the table.
I hate it. That was... Well, it was like 100.
Yeah.
You're bringing up like a... You're bringing up memories that I'm trying to suppress.
$5 super chat from Bill Gross. Hey guys, do you have tickets to the Atlantic City Open?
As a matter of fact, we do. We do have tickets to the Atlantic City Open.
All 3 of us.
Absolutely.
Nick, John, and myself all plan to be there as long as the event happens.
Yep, I am really looking forward to it. And it looks like at this point, I expect that the event will run. I think that we're at that point where events will be running. So I'm really excited for it. And we'll have, and again, you said yourself, we're going to have so much new stuff by then. You know, you'll be rocking a new AdMech Codex. Nick will be rocking probably some Drukari if I were betting. He really likes how they're playing so far. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be rocking out some new sisters. If we've got Cassie and the Nundum by then, oof, that's what I want.
Mechanized MSU Sisters.
Please, I love sisters. They're awesome.
Thanks so much for the super chat, Bill. We will
Thank you.
hopefully be there. We all have the tickets purchased for it, though.
Yes.
So we plan to. Any tips on painting models? A bunch of Grey Knight models that I want to paint, but not sure how to properly tackle these models. Grey Knights happen to be one of the easier armies to paint, which is great news, so you can do it pretty efficiently. Get yourself Lead Belcher Spray from Games Workshop. Prime the models that. And then if you want a darker kind of gray on there, go with... what is that blue called?
Drakenhof Nightshade.
Drakenhof Nightshade. So like you get a blue tint on the armor. If you want to go for the brighter silver, I would do Null Oil and then dry brush Stormhost Silver, I believe it is, on there.
I actually think that I still like the blue tint in general, so I think I would honestly do Drakenhof either way. But I guess it would be more muted versus more blue steel.
Yeah.
But then I love Stormhost Silver, right? That's the nice.
Stormhost Silver is the one you want to dry brush over the silver armor to bring it back up.
With metal models, especially like Grey Knights, Lead Belcher Primer, a wash and a dry brush is magical. That is exactly what I'm doing for all of the metal parts on this Invictor Warsuit right now. I'm doing Agrax Earthshade because I want it to look a little bit dirtier, because these are like, the moving machine parts of a walker rather than someone's armor. But the same paint style would apply. I think it looks great.
Yeah. And then for the swords, I typically go with like an Ulthwan Gray, Celestra Gray, Ulthwan Gray on top of that, so it's a nice white, and then do really thin layers of blue over that to make the force weapon effect.
Yeah, I like that.
Stuff like Lothern Blue is good for that.
Lothern Blue is just a good color in general. That's a nice
Made it again today. Hate when I miss you guys. Well, we love to see you, Artemis. Thank you so much.
Woo, thank you, and welcome.
Been having an absolute blast. Drukari are so damn fun. Hardly even have hype left over for the new sisters, but I'm sure I'll find more hype once they start
Who's
seeing the
saying
models. That is Ashley.
Ashley is fun. Ashley's been captured? Oh, that's...
Remember, she went into the anchor egg for a while.
Well, she's not getting out if she keeps playing Drukari. You kidding me?
She had a bout with supporting Chaos.
Unacceptable.
The anchorite, not the anchorite. The Dogmata puts you in...
The Dogmata puts you in the Anchorite.
Yep. Sends you to the Repentia, and then you get sent to the Mortifiers, right?
I think if your sins are grievous enough, it'll make an exception. Like, put him in the box. It's like, what about giving her a naked chainsword? Nope. Straight to the box. That's how bad you mess up when you support Chaos, folks.
Got a brace for the Tyranid Craft Road players' rage if sisters get a codex before them. It's probably happening.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Probably happening.
That's fine. I think that's putting us at 3 sisters codexes since the last Tyranid codex. However, no one should ever complain about sisters if you've been playing this game for more than 2 years.
Yeah. Because
goodness gracious, did sisters need this?
They waited a long, long while.
They did. Like, like 3 codexes in the last 2 years or 3 years versus also 3 codexes in the last 10 years. Like it was rough. It was rough being sisters. So many different like White Dwarf codexes and free online PDFs because we couldn't be bothered to print this codexes. It's like, man, sisters had this coming.
How's it going, Henning? Welcome. Sigs, have you tried the Tesseract Vault? I have a spicy 2 Catan Vault list, which is pretty saucy. I have not, frankly, because if I play against sisters, the Vault is dead.
That's true.
And I just lost 500 points in my army. With no recourse. There's just no terrain in the world that's going to hide the Vault.
Nope.
And it only has the 4-up invuln. It has a good amount of wounds, but with stuff like multi-melt attack bikes running around and all these Sisters Retributors, I don't want to go in with an awful matchup where I just play 500 points down.
It is, it's a 5-up invuln, right?
I think it's a 4-up.
Oh, is it a 4-up?
It used to be a 4-up. I don't think it got nerfed.
Okay.
But maybe if it's a 5-up, then it's really awful.
Yeah.
I think it's 4-up.
Okay. So it's not that fragile, but definitely with multi-meltas, you only need to fail a couple and have some things spike, and sisters are good at making sure things spike.
Yeah. With the simulacrum being free and just the extra liability.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It feels a little too tough.
Yep.
To go into matchups like an army as popular as sisters are right now and as powerful as they are.
That's true. Yeah, sisters are definitely going up there in popularity for once, which I'm happy for, because they are beautiful.
Also, Admech would be tough going second against that. It's like, all right,
yeah.
Once again, probably losing 500 points in my army right now.
What if the sisters player gets double 6 Miracle Vices turn 1 and like sends out a Retributor squad, and then you just make every 4 pinball?
I mean, it's possible. I won't rule it out, but it's not the Silent King that I'm rolling for, John.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah,
So
only
if it was the Silent King...
I mean, Mortarion can do that, so like...
Guaranteed, that's only Mark, though.
Oh, that's true.
But if it was the Silent King, sure. I can get the 4-ups going. Alright, so you have 8 saves to make. Alright, 7 out of 8. Great. Silent King's not dying, and I just wasted...
will feel a wound next turn. It's great.
Is it me, or is the Relic Contemptor the worst model in the world to build?
The Forge World one?
Yeah. Maybe it's the plastic one.
Oh, okay. Because the Forge World Relic Contemptor, I actually find to be very fun to build. I have several of them. I've got a couple more ones through. I actually am very fond of it. But if you're talking about the Forge World one, I will forgive you for saying that. Or I'm sorry, if you're talking about the GW one, that would make a lot more sense.
$5 super chat from Matt. Oh, any play to a solo flanking Talos, hoping that I can find a home for my poor Talos in this multi-melta world. John had tried the Talos, a 3-man unit, and they actually performed decently until the bombers. I mean, the heat lines. When you got to shoot,
performed decently.
It did 11 damage to a Scorpius tank.
That's true. It did.
That's not nothing.
That's
that was
true.
one of them.
That was one.
So
he tried really hard.
But they took the bombers to the face.
Yeah.
And the knee, and the arms, and the scalpels. It was just bad.
they took bombs everywhere you can put a bomb, and also a couple places that you weren't supposed to put bombs.
But what do you think about solo Talos?
They're not that expensive. I feel like they're gonna fall out of favor in Drukari list just because with how cheap everything in that book is, it really becomes a 2-for-1 scenario where you could have 10 racks with 4 liquefier guns instead of 1 Talos. And that comparison is pretty nasty. Or like a big squad of Incubi. Like there's a lot you can do with 110 or 120 points in Dark Elder.
They aren't cheap, that's for sure.
Yep.
They're kind of like the Castlin robots for Admech, where like they actually do a good amount of damage, but as soon as you start investing in a couple of them, there goes your army.
Yep, that's like what you're doing now.
The Palatine officially costs 0 points. Like, actually 0 points. It's in the app. Fair and balanced.
You know what? The GW app is very official and the source of everything.
Yes.
So we're going to start
and
spamming.
There's never mistakes on there.
No, there are certainly not.
Not on the official
app. I could fit 3 Palatines into a Sisters list. Like, let's just roll a 3 this right up.
I wonder if they'll get the Lieutenant rule.
Yeah, they
just shove them in there.
Yeah. Oh, you mean where you get multiples?
Yeah, you can get
multiple
in a single
The initial
entry.
data sheet does not. I honestly think that they only put that in there so that people had a reason to buy Primaris Lieutenants.
That's fair.
Because otherwise it's like, well, sir, we've already sold them 7 Primaris Lieutenants. They're not going to buy number 8. What if we let them? Good idea, sir.
Well, it's really thinking of the future where number 9, 10, and 11 are released.
That's true. Yeah, that's what you need to plan on.
Never enough Primaris Lieutenants.
Now, the goal is to be able to fit all 12 Primaris Lieutenants in a double battalion list.
John, I've seen you played a couple of Pure Knight games. Any plans to do soup with your Majeras? Lots of pretty good options there.
Yeah, I think Admech are actually a very good soup option. Specifically, bombers, cavalry, and Scorpius tanks are great allies for the Majeras. I think Admech is the best ally there, although I am considering the Imperial Guard pony patrol as well. Adding in the Death Corps riders, those are also pretty darn good. So that would be the other thing that I'm considering right now, if I were to ally to the Majeras.
Just extra speed and board control.
Yeah, speed, durability, board control, things that don't attract night weapons. Or more specifically, like things that don't die to anti-infantry, I should say. Yeah. Because like there's just, whenever you play against like 3 Majeras, it's like, well, what do I do with my bolt guns? And if you just give them things that die to bolt guns, you're defeating the purpose. That's why I never liked putting in guardsmen with the Majeras. Yeah. But things like the cavalry really die fastest to flat 3 damage and stuff. You know, shooting 1 damage weapons at the ponies and the cavalry actually takes forever too. So I am very much okay with that.
The Nunbots roll out. Transform Nunbots.
Oh my god, Nundums. If the Nundum could transform into an easy-to-build Invader ATV, what would you do?
Are they that bad to build?
The Invaders?
Yeah.
No.
No.
They're relatively easy to build. They just don't look good before or after you build them. Sorry, we have 3 of them.
That's probably enough.
I'm sure there was a reason I did that. It was pretty good with Azrael for a minute.
What's your plan for White Scars against Dark Eldar?
That's a really interesting one. I think I would actually have to put that match on the table, frankly. So maybe Nick and I will set up a practice game sometime so I can try that out. On paper,
or a warring game.
Or a warring game. On paper, I think that it's going to be a relatively difficult matchup because the White Scars really need to be able to kill the transports before they commit to close combat. Otherwise, they're not going to do nearly enough damage to the actual hitting power of Dark Eldar. So I think that White Scars may need to adapt to fit a little bit more ranged firepower in to be able to kill these boats. But I haven't really decided what exactly that'll look like. I imagine I will have to make some edits soon, though.
Eradicators?
Seems unlikely. I don't really like Eradicators into Dark Eldar. Which is funny because I loved Eradicators like when Dark Angels and Death Guard were all the rage because the heavy melter rifles are super good into -1 damage Terminators. But then like as soon as I ordered them, like Dark Eldar comes out, I'm like, I don't know if these are going to make the list after all. But that's right, we'll build them up anyway. Just have all the Space Marines.
This is a hard thing to admit to people I respect, but I am and always have been an elf player. Got into Dark Eldar in 4th edition before they were even cool. That is a long time ago.
Who's saying this?
That's Ashley.
I see. Elves. That's alright. I too had a moment of weakness that lasted several months.
It was a moment, but
a moment
felt like a lifetime.
A several-month moment of weakness. That was right when you were starting out competitive play. That's actually embarrassing that Richard first met me as an Eldar player.
Yeah, that's what I think of John right now.
No, it's not.
Still to this day.
No.
He's always going to be the Harlem Drukari.
Played Tyranids for 10 years straight, unbroken. Then you just experiment with elves, you know? It was just one time, and I just, met some scrappy little kid with Tau. Tri-pointed him with a grotesque. Didn't think anything of it. Several grotesques. Didn't think anything of it. Now I'm being judged as an elf player by my good friend. Sad days indeed, folks.
John, how do you feel about the double Volkite Contemptor and Ultramarines with Oath?
Oh, I love it so much. That's actually why I was painting up a Contemptor last week. Was because the Volkite Contemptor, which is now fully painted and ready to go, and may or may not make an appearance on Thursday, super loves having those rerolls to wound from the Oath of Moment. Seal of Oath.
Oath of Moment, John.
Whatever. Same thing.
There's
too many. Space Marines love their oaths. They're like dwarves. It's like, I'm writing this down in the Book of Grudges. What's that? Shut up. It's a grudge now. Everything's a grudge with the dwarves.
You outflank the vault. Oh my god, what's its power level?
I do not want to contemplate this.
It's like 4 CP. If you're running 2 detachments just to get access to the 2 Catan, so you're
And
spending
a
at
third
least...
one for the vault?
Yeah.
Because it's a load of war, right?
Yeah. It's getting pricey. That's getting pricey.
Okay, so you start at 12, you go down 3 for the vault, and then you go down 2 for the... So you start at 7, and then you spend 4 more to outflank it. You still start with 3 command points.
That's enough for the Catan, because you switch into Sky Falling Stars.
There you go. That's all you need.
There's a lot of armies right now that just don't care about Sky Falling Stars. Like transport heavy armies are becoming popular, and transports are anti-meta choice into Drukari. So, yeah, I think Catan and then Mech are on the horizon, like I said. I think all of that goes against running a lot of Catan stuff. But maybe I'm wrong.
It's really hard because there's so many different play styles that are very good right now. It's very hard to accurately predict, like, this is the meta. Into Drukari.
Yeah.
Like, I spend like a whole detachment and some command points to get old grudges into my list for guard to try and deal with Death Guard and Dark Angels, and it just is so irrelevant into Dark Elder. It's like, alright, roll a d30. Which unit would you like to reroll wounds against? Okay, it died. Go ahead.
I'll just pick them up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, getting free rerolls against the first raider you shoot at, but like, come on.
Do you think the combo was intended, or do you think it will be changed? D6 auto hitting, strength 5, AP2, 2 damage seems brutal coming out of a unit in a vehicle.
I wish it was strength 5, but it is strength 4 plus 1 to wound, and that is so much worse. Yep. Wounded vehicles on 4s. You know what? I don't really know what is intended. However, that is something that is very powerful, and I would not be surprised if it doesn't last for the full lifetime of this Dark Elder Codex.
Yeah, I would eventually see that getting looked at.
Yep, one would hope, at least. I hope, but I'm biased.
They'll probably just go with the points increase on the liquefier than changing the gun itself. But
yeah, probably.
They could FAQ it where if you roll 1s to wound for liquefier, any auto-hitting weapon that's benefiting from Dark Technomancer, you can take the mortals there, which would be totally reasonable.
Yep.
John, watched the coaching game between you and Nick's Death Guard and with your Dark Angels. That was literally one of my favorite games of 40k I watched on stream. Super close.
Awesome.
Glad to hear that.
I think that was a 1-point game. It was a very, very close game between those two armies in the Worm there.
Yep.
I'm glad you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, and that was Nick also doing tournament prep.
Yep. Yeah, that was a super cool game.
So, a lot of games in the Worm are like that. Mm-hmm. And we've got an interesting one this week.
Oh, yes.
New AdMech once again with the Metallica up against John's Tyranid experimentations.
Mm-hmm. Tyranids. The Democarons are coming back, folks.
Where do you think you're headed with Tyranids?
That's a hard question. That's a hard question. I don't know. I'm considering trying out double Hive Guard sometime soon, just to have some more of those ready. But I haven't fully decided or written that list yet.
Talk about the Glass City ponies.
Oh my goodness! Tower of Rise won a GT, I believe, in Ohio, and it was the soupiest thing I've ever seen. It's beautiful. I think it was on like an AdMech patrol with some ponies and 2 bombers, a sister spearhead with a Miracleized Canoness and 15 Retributors, and a guard outrider that was just
the deathcore stuff.
Ponies.
Yeah.
Like 3 squads, 3 command squads. And honestly, it was beautiful. Like the first and last ride of like, oh my goodness, just so many ponies. I thought that was really coolest. Nick should maybe think about getting him in for an interview. But I wish I owned enough ponies to put that on the table. That would be beautiful. You kidding me?
It was a very cool list.
So many ponies.
The deathcore are great. It's just you start running low on detachments, so it works best in these type of very soup lists.
Yeah, very, very soupy, where it's not really relying on any particular stratagems.
Yep.
And there's like 1 CP situational stuff, not I need to do this every turn.
Yep.
So definitely is really good there. That's one of the things, like I've kind of wanted to ally them, the ponies that is, with like Custodes Dreadnoughts, but I'm like, I really like having the Dreadnought strats.
Yeah.
I really do.
And I like having regular guard stuff like Manticores.
I also like having regular Manticores.
So I have found it tough. Like when I was trying to create that Imperium soup list,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to throw them in there because add mech horses you could go for, but if you're going guard ready, try and get more guard stuff.
Yep.
But that death core detachment, it's
hard.
tough.
It's very hard to fit in there for sure.
Had some fun with House of Volker for knights. The rerolls and the strat makes damage nicely reliable, especially with Endless Fury and Lightning Locks. They feel so underrated.
Yeah, House Volker is really cool. It has a 1 CP stratagem to get exploding 6s. And I believe that, what is it? I think that they reroll 1s to hit when targeting the closest visible enemy unit. Which is actually kind of cool as well. If you're just trying to blow someone away, that actually may be one to consider with my Majeras. Interesting.
But,
I mean, every 6 to hit is 4 hits at that point. Nick wouldn't mind that, would he?
You rolled 4 6, especially on Overwatch. Rolled 4 6s. No, John, not 16 hits. Please no.
Oh, I love that when I what was it? I think I rolled 8 dice and I got 4 hits, but all 4 were 6s. So I was like, 12 hits, 4 misses, 12 hits. Interesting. I'll take it.
It's okay, John. 3 years with Eldar, but I'm always the Space Wolf player. Proud of you, Chris.
Frosty Forge in the chat. That's true. Is it better to be a Space Wolf or an Eldar player? These are trying questions here.
Greetings from Germany, and thanks for the good work you were doing. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your support, and hope you were doing well in Germany.
Absolutely.
Let's see, John. It's okay to be an Eldar player. Don't feel ashamed.
I admit to nothing.
If anybody tries to guilt you, you just razor file them for 80 times.
Oh my god. The succubus. Honestly, how is she real? How is she real?
I don't understand. And they could have made that very sensible, but then just went with the least sensible option. Just, you didn't take damage? Great. Here's more attacks.
It's sad that this is just better than rerolling to hit and wound.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah,
not even close.
Yeah. Like, there's the Warlord trait to reroll wounds, or there's make 2 attacks every time you fail the wound, or also to hit, or also to make a save. It's like, what is the choice here?
Running 20 racks with 5 liquefiers next. Deep Strike and Flame something while the Kronos is nearby. Use the strat to max the racks power from pain for the rest of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good things you can do with racks and liquefier guns. Covenants have some cool rules. I think everything Dark Eldar has some very strong stuff going for it.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of stinkers, which is great.
No, I think the Razor Wing Jet Fighter is like legitimately the only unit in that book that I haven't thought of at least a situational use for. Like I could legitimately justify any unit in this book in an army list except maybe the Razor Wing.
Yeah.
And even then, like, it's not terrible. It's just like kind of a worse Void Raven that's like, do I need a gunboat that doesn't transport?
Yeah, it fit more in the 8th edition style of just trying to table people with max efficient shooting.
But I just don't think Dark Eldar need that, even though they just can.
Yeah. What
a dichotomy they've got going on.
Could table you now, but I'd rather...
I'd rather just keep you to 0 points. Cool.
Do you see the non-Dark Angels hold the center Space Marine armies falling out of favor? There seems to be a growing number of counters to that playstyle.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the Blood Angel White Scar style jump pack, run fast, punch people. I think that those style armies are going to have a bit of an identity crisis with Dark Eldar. It's not to say that those factions aren't viable, but I think that they're going to need to pump the brakes a little bit and focus on doing a little more damage from range. And what that's going to look like, I'm not entirely sure, but we are definitely going to keep things updated. You'll notice that there were multiple Redemptors that showed up. I'm painting in Victors. I am experimenting a lot right now with Space Marines to see what I can make work, because I am not one to go quietly into the night.
Did Pradchester Yellow Sisters to that Glass City GT? I think he played Salamanders, right?
I also thought that he played Salamanders, but I would have to go look at the list perhaps. On Friday afternoon, I had a conversation with Brad in one of our clinics in the War Room, specifically about the Salamanders list he was bringing. So something crazy would have had to happen for him to be playing Sisters.
Speaking of stream games, Tau again. Do you think you figured out a legitimately good build for them? I think I have. I think this
He's
build
painting Tau right now.
and these remores are actually going to be part of that.
God bless him.
But the list actually has a lot of damage from multiple different vectors, and I think you really want MSU shooting right now against Drukari.
Yeah, absolutely, you do.
And powerful indirect line of sight is one of the things that helps, because it means even if they bring all those boats up into the center, if you can kill a couple of them that turn and have that stuff have to move advance towards you the next turn, potentially have things that block their movement, like these Remoras, which are airborne.
Interesting. So witches don't automatically delete those.
Nope. And then you stuck a little guy called the Grav Drone, who John loves, right in the middle of that. So if they want to try and make a long charge all the way around, they're really not gonna.
I don't love the Grav Drone.
You love the Grav Drone, John.
I don't love the...
How many times have you played against the Grav Drone?
Well, look, I'm very good at killing the Grav Drone. I also just see red and just go after it. Like, Richard could actually deploy the Grav Drone in the far corner of his deployment zone and put his entire army there, and I would, put a drop pod, right next to the Grav Drone. It has to die!
It is a vicious, vicious tool against armies that want to charge you.
It is!
You got to plan on having -3 to your charge, which is not where you want to be.
Oh, God.
And unlike Tanglefoot Grenade, it's everything within 12, declaring a charge. So
Stupid Grav Drones.
I was a big fan of this in 8th edition. I think it's great now with all these MSU melee armies.
I don't think there's ever a universe where the Grav Drone was bad. No. The other thing is just so good.
Even though Pathfinders went up crazy amount, the Grav Drone still find a way to put it in.
The Grav Drone remains.
The funny thing is, you take the Recon Drone too and you put it in Devilfish. Now the Devilfish ignores cover. That's a rule. I'm not even joking.
Don't they have smart missile systems anyway?
I'm taking the gun drones. But yeah.
Okay. Do the gun drones ignore cover while they're on the Devilfish?
Yes, because they count as part of its weapon systems.
There you go. That's the secret sauce right there.
That's the secret sauce. But I don't know why that rule had to exist.
When are you going to finish building the rest of your crew?
I did. I do. I built most of the crew.
Yeah. There's always room for more crew.
I have to wait for the crew toxes to come in.
Oh, okay. So that's reasonable. Yeah, I don't want you to run anything less than the best version of this list.
Admech need a flatten edema carrot turn 1-2 or it's over.
I'm sorry, what?
Admech versus Tyranids.
Yeah, that's true, but I also don't know how to stop that, so I'm excited to find out with you.
Do you think the Demon alone boosts Tyranid's competitive rating by a noticeable amount?
100%.
Yeah,
I think that if the Demon didn't exist, literally transformative. I think without the Demon Tyranids are not worth playing competitively right now. Just flat out. It is a very awkward spot for the faction to find itself in, but that is, I believe, where we are. But that's okay. Tyranids are an older codex, and therefore I'm hoping we'll have a codex soon. Unfortunately, there's been no indication from GW as to when that might be. But I know some people think that one of the rumor engine things that GW likes to post looked like a Tyranid tail, so perhaps if there are new models coming for the Tyranids, then, and indeed if that's what it actually is and not a Tyranid model on the base of something else.
Where are these red markings on the Devilfish?
Ooh, Richard is getting all lore accurate. I like it. You know what? I respect it. Lore accuracy is very important to me.
Here we go.
Alright. That's 2 sets of basic done.
A little help, John. So down in Mexico, it's a lot harder to get models. What would you replace the Hormagaunts with in your list?
Ooh, if I had to, more Gaunts is never a bad thing to have, honestly. Just like Termagants, if you have those instead. Well, I'm surprised that you can get the Demicarans and not the Hormagaunts, if I'm being real with you. That's kind of funny. I would say just you still want a certain weight of bodies. You can get away with having Termagants instead. So you're a little bit cheaper, and having a couple extra bodies makes up for the 2 inches of movement you lose, I think. I prefer Hormagaunts, but it's not by such a wide margin that it just ruins the list at all. You could definitely play a version of it with Termagants instead and not feel bad. So why are you painting Viorla right now? Talk to me about this.
So I'm running a Viorla detachment because they have a 2 CP strat to shoot twice.
Interesting. On
and
anything?
then on infantry, excuse me.
Infantry, okay.
So you bring a 10-man breacher squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen breachers. They have 20 shots if it's a 10-man squad, 2 each. And there's a 1 CP strat to bring their close range profile to 15 inches. So strength 6, AP 2, 1 damage, 15 inches away.
Okay.
Viorla lets you advance and shoot without penalty.
That's kind of cute.
If you don't get the 5 marker lights on there, but really you're aiming to get the 5 marker lights anyway. Then Breachers have a 1 CP strat if you're benefiting from cover. They get to reroll wound against you. And even if you're ignoring cover with Markolites, it still works, according to the FAQ.
Fascinating.
So, get a lot of shots like that. But Viorla opens up that 2 CP. I get to shoot this unit a second time.
So just like spending all those 1 CP strats is good, but then like it's only 10 dudes.
Exactly. But now it's 40 shots coming at you.
Yep. Okay.
Or you could pop a different 1 CP strat to turn the shots into pistols, and then they come with pistols, and now that you're doubling the number of shots, it's going to be 40 shots from the Pulse Blaster, and then 20 shots from the regular Pulse pistols. Ooh. Now they're putting out 60 shots into, like 20 Poxwalkers or whatever. Just
if you really need to pick something up, that is a pretty good toolbox.
But they're also great into Blight Lords. Like, oh, Nick put his Blight Lords in cover? Great, perfect. Reroll wounds against them. I'm going to ignore cover with Marker Lights, and I'm going to pump a ton of shots into you.
Yeah, and it's just against things that receive the benefit. So if you have a Shroud Sum up, that would work?
It would work against that as well.
Fascinating.
Yep.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Very powerful there. It also gives you access to On-Shi. So
On-Shi? Hero of the Empire?
Hero. Absolute hero.
What a champion.
Reroll invulns in combat, and he has a 4-up invuln.
Just in combat, huh?
Just in combat.
Okay, not against shooting. Good
not against shooting. That'd be amazing. If it was
that would be pretty strong, yeah.
But 9-inch aura as well, speaking of leadership 9, because he's the warlord and gives you 1 CP back.
And he gives you a CP back?
Yep.
Look at him go.
Little champion.
Beautiful.
55
I like this guy already.
So I'm giving out the 6 Final Pain as well.
Okay.
Or reroll advances when you need it.
Right on.
It's a nice little detachment to buff
cute.
Farsight Enclaves. But the real tech is that those Airburst Crisis Suits. They
Absolutely.
are one of the most powerful units in the game, in my opinion.
I'm going to go grab myself some water. Would you like a drink while you're up?
I do have water back here.
Perfect.
Thank you, though. Will we see your Custodes on stream against these new books? Want to see how the meta changes your list? 100%. I think Custodes are actually quite strong into this. Being able to turn off rerolls, -1 strength is awesome because Witch Cults are coming in with thinking they are going to get the benefit of their strength from combat drugs. So they'll be either thinking I'm strength 4 or if they double it, strength 5. Let's bring you on back down, especially against something like the Telemon. In addition to that, Dark Lances are just not very reliable when you're putting them at -1 strength and or turning off their rerolls. They're just not killing Telemons from range at all. They have to kill them in combat, and that's not really where you want to be when you can put so many different defensive buffs like turning off rerolls on the Telemon. So I think Custodes Dreads have a lot of play. I think the Gallaudet, spamming as many of the small Dreads is probably the best way to go because you want to be spread out. You don't want your army in one place so that Drukari can just go that one direction. You want to split up all these Drukari elements because very similar to Sisters, they don't want to engage you on multiple fronts at the same time. Interrupt is brutal against Drukari. If they're sending 5 Incubi in one place and another 5 elsewhere, you're going to interrupt and you're going to win one of those combats if you're a melee-oriented army. In your opinion, how melee-focused Marines like Blood Angels could adapt to Drukari? You gotta run as much MSU as possible, but like John said, you need shooting. So I would go towards Redemptors as much as possible. You want guns that can split fire very efficiently against Drukari.
Now, which chapter are you referring to?
Blood Angels. Advice for Blood Angels. I think you do need to go, like John said, down the shooting route.
Yeah, and MSU, I think I like taking a bunch of 6-man Blade Guard squads.
Yep.
And then 4-man Sanguinary Guard squads.
Yep, I like that a lot.
Because then you split that all up and you've got 9 units there that can realistically beat up anything that they hit.
I still like 1 unit Death Company as well because you go first turn and you can take out some transports and just be annoying.
Yeah, I could do
even just force anything that can, like John's painting Invictus right now, anything that can force your opponent to play, especially Drukari opponent with speed, force them to play a little more defensive turn 1. That's a big deal.
Yeah, something that I found is that Drukari are very, very good at rushing you and bowling you over. And it's dangerous, and I'm really trying to stop people from wanting to do that. So I hope that if I deploy a couple of Invictor Tactical Warsuits 9 inches away from their deployment edge, they're going to be less inclined to deploy on the line.
I would hope so.
And if Nick wants to deploy on the line, I will take a 50-50 roll-off to knock him out of the park.
Yep. You just can't take that amount of damage.
No, you can't. You cannot get charged by 3 Invictors turn 1 and feel good about it. Because that's like 5 or 6 boats just dead. Especially in Dev Doctrine. That'll hurt. I also love that most of their weapons are not blast. So, although I do hate that they turned their bolters into pistols, because now, they just shoot into combat anyways. It's like, alright. Like, this is cool.
We
like,
should change that.
Like, wish you had done anything else right now. This was
Um,
really cool last month.
Hey guys, hope everything is great there. One nid question: what is your opinion on the Scythe Heraduel? What would you add to a list to include it? Would it be great to see one on stream?
I do like the Scythe Terradul. It's basically a toughness 8 D McCarran that doesn't reroll all hits and doesn't jump over things is my problem. It's cool and I like the flamer on it, so I'm not at all opposed to including one in a game. If I wanted to build around one, I would actually just go full Monster Rush, and I would go D McCarrans and Heraduls, because it is toughness 8, which is not a small difference between it and a D McCarran. And I would really just go for a monster mash that is trying to bowl people over.
Yeah, I mean, if the Demon already on the board, they need to die first. So the Heraduls
It gets a little bit of agency, and honestly, its flamer is still actually pretty decent. It has quite decent, quite good stats there. So, yeah, it definitely there's some play to it. Plus, pretty cool model. The Forge World Nids, they're freaking like they were made in I think 3rd or early 4th edition. They actually still look kind of cool.
they still look better than some of their plastic stuff.
Yeah.
The new plastic, I mean. I think they're some of the best looking models. Like the D McCarran, come on.
Oh, the D McCarran was made later than that.
Okay.
Like the Heraduls and the Herodin, like you can tell by the carapace structure that these are like old. This was all the Tyranid aesthetic in 3rd edition before they redid the whole line.
The Forge World Ripper Swarms are way cooler.
Oh yeah, those are so much better. Those are awesome.
What do you think are going to be the most meta-relevant Chaos builds going forward? Big Demons and Death Guard both have good reasons to not like Drukari. Probably add Mech 2. You are not wrong there.
Emperor's Children.
Emperor's Children have been that secret sauce for a while now. And
I think this is the best they've ever been.
They've gotten even better now because the meta changes.
Yeah.
Like Noise Marines, Lightning Claw Terminators with Honor the Prince.
Yeah, I think they went out of the meta because of Death Guard and Dark Angel's rise to power.
And also just Marines with all the 2-up armors.
Exactly.
In cover. Well, not cover, but just 2-up armors and Storm Shields.
Yep, and I think that's it's a very solid list, and I think that there's some really good ways to counter it, but those ways are all getting a lot less popular with Resurgence of Dark Eldar and Admech. Those are armies where this actually will work.
Somebody's spamming in chat.
Spam in the chat.
Get a timeout, sir.
Who would do such a thing?
You don't want to get a timeout in the Art of War chat. You have to really be messing up.
Yeah, that is hard to do. We are pretty easy.
Run the 8 with the -2 to charge drones plus the grab. Yeah, you could also run. If I was running a generic ethereal, you could put the.
Oh my god!
Put the relic on there.
That's a sub match right there. Nick runs the 8 into you playing Drukari.
Do we want to give him a single chance or just no mercy?
No mercy.
Okay.
No mercy.
Well, both the Mats are killing it on the top super chatters this month, so either of them could make Nick play the 8. Mark had to play it several months ago, and it's awful.
But now we have the 8.
But now we have the 8.
So this is very easy to make happen again. You could also make me play the 8, but I think Nick would be more fun.
Grab drone and recon drone are even more ridiculous in Kill Team. The Pathfinders with rail rifles are absurd in Kill Team. I don't know if they've been nerfed since I played the the original version, but those whatever they were called, engineer or the comms expert with the rail rifle, just murking things from 36 inches away. Just boom, 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 hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s.
Yep.
Killing a lot of things on 2s.
I think I put the same upgrades on a stout with a camo cloak and a missile launcher. And in my very limited Kill Team experience, that man destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, I was playing against MSU Eldar stuff, so like random Guardians and stuff flying around, just killing so much a turn. And I think they have like a strat to shoot twice or something. It was silly.
I haven't played Kill Team in a hot minute.
Yes, it's been a while. Playing a 1250 GT mission tournament with Dark Angels, Azrael, Blade Banner, Chief Apothecary, 20 Terminators, 10 Shield, 10 Stormbolter, 2 Cyclones. That seems like...
10 Terminators is a good place to start if you're playing Dark Angels.
That seems like a lot of people are going to struggle. I probably wouldn't go with that many Terminators and honestly bring Talonmasters.
You know, I'm painting a Talonmaster right now, so I can't say no to Talonmasters either.
I feel like you're going to want a little extra speed late game to get on those objectives, finish off things that are hiding. I might go with Talonmasters. Or at least one. Have options. The Krutok shall grace the battlefield when they come in from Warp Fire. they will get on the table.
I am so excited for that.
They are agile brutes.
They are agile brutes. That's why they advance 6. Can they do anything when they advance?
I think their weapon's heavy.
Oh.
They can't advance and charge, so I don't think so.
Darn. I was really hoping there.
How does the D. McCarran list match up with the new Drukari? Feel it is an okay matchup.
I think it's actually pretty, it's pretty challenging. I think you just really need to focus on killing the transports, and fortunately you have a lot of tools and Tyranids to kill them. Exocrines and, Hiveguard. So Tyranids definitely have some tools in that matchup, but Dark Elder do have a lot of stuff, so it's not the easiest. It's not the easiest matchup. But, there's definitely, there's room for play there, so, I'm hoping if I practice that one a couple of times, maybe I might have to make some switches to like double Hiveguard or something. Then maybe that'll be enough to try to overcome the newfangled Xenos.
Recently been having success with Craftworld Eldar, although mostly against Marines, double Lings, double Wraithseer, Wave Serpents, Shining Spears, Farseer Warlock. Avatar of Cain, what do you guys think? Yeah, we've actually seen that build, or a similar version, do well at the last 2 GTs.
Yeah.
The one in Maryland, it was top table against Nick, and then at Clutch City, I think, similar list did pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. I also, the double links, I actually played against that with my D. McCarran build, round 4 of the Salt Classic GT back in February. The links is actually quite good. Links, Hornets. I don't know about the Avatar of Cain, but it's definitely the style points on that one.
It's the Avatar of Cain.
It's the Avatar of Cain. I mean, you can't just leave them at home. God, talk about models that I want to get a plastic kit. Like, we've got, like, plastic Bellicor and plastic every single Greater Demon. You know what? Eldar players, this is my olive branch. You guys deserve a plastic Avatar of Cain that slaps. This guy needs speed. This guy needs to look down on anything tall. He needs to look down on Ferrous Ironfather as a bare minimum. He should not be shorter than him. Like, what if they just redid him like Bellicor status? Like, just big Tonka tough boy.
I think they should.
I'd be happy about that.
Like, the Forge World one is awesome with this giant spear.
Yeah, that talk about it.
Needs rules model that fit that.
Absolutely. And a plastic model that fits that.
You never really stop being who we are as a 40k player. For example, no matter how much coaching I get from Siegs, deep down I'm still awful at 40k. You've improved though, Lyle. You actually are beating medalists.
There you go.
And you've taken a lot of the coaching in stride. Like I remember a time where there were a lot of misplays throughout a game. Now if there are misplays, there's only a couple.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
it's a good way to learn.
Definitely improved. Don't put yourself down so much.
Aww.
What do you think about the Cursed Blade Witch Cult for the Mortal Wound Bomb Succubus and inbuilt strength boost?
I think that there's a lot of good competition in the Drukari Codex between the different witch cults. Unfortunately, GW gave us this, and I'm not willing to give up access to ignore Overwatch, reroll wound, fight twice, extra AP, 4+ invul, unlimited attacks, and more, and the other half of the stratagems for +1 strength. As good as that is as an inherent buff, I just think that you give up too much from the stratagems. I think Red Grief has the same problem. I was actually talking to my good friend, the Big Bear himself from Big Bear 3D, about a Red Grief witch cult list that he wrote, and it's actually very, very fast and very scary, but I still think that just an extra page of stratagems and relics and data sheets from the Cult of Strife is just a little too good to argue with, unfortunately. Because, man, the Codex Supplement game was strong for everyone except House Raven in that book. House Raven tried so hard.
They tried.
It wasn't even bad. It's just like Metallica and Witch Cult of Strife got like faction changing level buffs. And like Raven was like, hey, this is about as good as what you have. It's just a little flavor.
Now, it might look different when we see the context of their book whenever they get that. So
that's true.
It seemed like there were a lot of stuff that's trying to interact with other rules.
Yeah, that didn't feel like it was there yet.
Breachers. I like Breachers so much.
I do like Breachers.
Not the AdMech version.
Oh,
man. Thanks for the answer. Actually just ordered 10 Termites. What do you say Emperor's Children are? You thinking soup with demons, or with Lord of Change, Beast of
Or with
Nurgle, Keepers,
Mortarion.
or leaning into pure Chaos Space Marines.
I think you go soup for sure.
Yeah, Chaos really kind of needs the soup right now.
Yeah. Now, you can argue for pure Death Guard, but anything else I think is soup heaven. Yeah, honestly, I think like something like what Mark Perry has brought to some recent tournaments, such as the Clutch City GT. I actually like that style list a lot, and I think it's going to age even better into the current meta.
There is technically a plastic avatar of Kane in Age of Sigmar, but it's kind of meh.
Oh yeah, there's
true.
There's a statue of the Avatar of Kane, as part of like a blood throne thing, and that is actually a cool looking kit, and it being in plastic is awesome. I would definitely rather use that than the current Avatar of Kane model. I just want it to be a little more dynamic, so I would try to cut it up and really do something cool with it.
Can we also just give a shout out to Nick, who's been in the background this whole time? He's joining the Hangout and Hobby
Absolutely.
for the first time in a while.
Indeed, and it's good to have him.
It's good to have him in the background.
It's good to have him on the channel. Really. We miss you, Nick.
How do Necrons match up with the new Dark Eldar? I think the traditional builds are going to struggle. They can do a lot of mortal wounds, so Catans are kind of out the window, and they're very MSU or in transports. That's not what the Catan powers want. They want larger squads hiding out of line of sight so you can sky falling stars them each turn.
Yeah.
They also don't like the sheer volume of attacks that are going to happen to your 20 warriors. So
That's very true.
also, they have fight first all over the place, so Silent King is much less efficient.
Oh my god. The combination of fight first and fight last that Drukari have access to is
much.
Is great for a combat army.
It's not great if you are a combat army facing them, though.
No, it's not. Doesn't feel nearly as good then.
I think the traditional builds are going to see a decline against Drukari if they become something very prevalent across the meta. However, I think, like I've been saying, I think running a lot of transports is one way to help against Drukari.
Yeah.
Because they don't have amazing ways to pop multiple transports a turn, and especially the most durable ones, like Ghost Arcs. I think Ghost Arcs with 10 warriors inside is actually quite strong.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think the Drukari are going to so much break the game as they're going to change the game. Just because I think that maybe it's because they're so different than what we all leaned into to combat Death Guard and Dark Angels. They're just so opposite of that we kind of have to pendulum our way back.
Yeah. Just forge a new path.
When in doubt. And that's why I'm painting in Victor Tactical Warsuits, which are not here for the Dark Angel matchup.
But yeah, I mean, if they were just straight up broken, we wouldn't have been playing any close games against them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
they definitely have some flaws. It's going to be about exposing them and bringing them down.
How can Necrons pop transports at range? Seems like once the Mineers are gone, you have no tools besides close range stuff. Necron shooting is poor. They really didn't do a good job on that, frankly. The shooting just isn't very good compared to what other armies have gotten. However, if you're going to go with the quantum shielding spam, the Tesseract arcs are what I would go for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're D6 shots and D6 damage, and that's not where you want to be. But it's better than nothing, because at least you can do it from 36-inch range.
Yeah.
So, that's what I would go for. You also get 2 Gauss cannons on that, so it's not horrendous.
Gauss cannons.
But it's just not amazing.
These are the Tesseract arcs?
The arcs, the foretold shooting unit.
Yeah.
I think that's the best you can
Are they
hope
in
for.
stock right now with Forge-World? We should try to stack some of those.
We should try and stack some. But I'm envisioning a very cool mass quantum shielding style list.
Mm-hmm.
You go OBSEC and then the fallback and shoot.
Yeah, I could see that being pretty... I could actually see that being a pretty cool list.
Command barges, of course.
You got it. Command barges, right?
It's unfortunate you can't make the command barge more expensive than the arcs, so you can't get them as Wally stands. That is annoying.
While we stand with Catan, obviously. Who would try to kill those?
Nobody.
Nobody
dares to challenge the Star Gods, John.
Well, that's true. I actually don't think I've killed the Catan yet. I don't know if I've ever killed the Catan in my 14 years of playing 40K. Haven't had too many opportunities, but I'm sure I've gotten at least one.
What we can say for sure is none have died on the Art of War stream yet.
That's
two
true.
games that we played.
2 games in, they're kicking.
Or 3 games, excuse me.
No,
3 games.
No, Nemesis or Nick brought a Nightbringer and got wrecked.
Well, Nemesornik he died in a fiery blaze.
That's
we
true.
don't talk about him.
He was
He's not a true believer.
Yeah, he was lost in translocation. We were trying to beam back to the Ghost Ark, and there was just a quasar nearby, and it just kind of missed. Like a glitchy technology, it's the tech support guy was
friendly fire.
A little bit of friendly fire. He just accidentally teleported him into a star.
Eternal madness is not a healthy thing. My two friends just changed to Drukari and Death Guard. How do I, as a Necron player, play against them? Any good advice? The Necron book is showing its age.
Ooh.
So, you definitely are going to have an uphill battle, but I don't think it's impossible. I think you just have to change the way. I think the transport build has play into both of those armies now.
And I know you've been talking up that transport build. I know it's not on this week, but we were thinking about trying to get it in the future, right? Maybe next week on the schedule?
Maybe next week, yeah. I'd be down to play it. I don't have the Tesseract arcs, though. That's kind of a big part of
the plan. I see.
Because all the other Necron shooting is just a trash fire. Like, destroyers are so bad. They are paying the sins of 8th edition.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Nick's not moving much.
What are you talking about?
He's given us his famous pose, though.
Nick's doing great. Yeah, absolutely.
He's still befuddled by some rules back there.
I'm sure Custodian Guard finally heroic after 3 turns of warning.
Can we just appreciate that, Nick? Goatbye did an excellent job.
Absolutely.
Capturing all of Nick's personality there. What do you see beating Drukari now, other than Sieg's ability to roll 5-ups on command?
Oh, man, that is exactly what you need. I think there's a couple armies that have a decent matchup.
Just force your opponent to explode all of his stuff on his own army.
I hate you so much. I think Mech have a really good shot at it.
Yeah, Mech, especially the new Metallica stuff, got some great rules against Drukari.
Yep.
You got closer to me? Cool, I'm going to make you a lot less efficient.
Yeah, -1 to hit, no rerolls.
This is not what I want to see.
This is not what I want.
Auto-exploding as well?
Yeah, seriously. Getting close is kind of what Dark Eldar do, and close to Metallica is just the worst place to be.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
How much close combat should you bring for a shooty Space Marine army? Ultramarines, how to balance in the list? Well, guess what? We are going to have Ultramarines on stream this week into the new Drukari, and that is going to be John
Lennon. You know what I'm excited for? Nick is going to be like, my Blood Brides have a 4 pinnacle in combat. Goleman rolls 3 6s to wound, 3d3 mortal wounds. Get him off the table.
Just gone.
Gone.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Devastating.
Goleman does not tolerate Xenos incursions, nor does he tolerate fools. Unluckily for Nick, he is playing Xenos. And if he thinks he's going to stop Goleman, he's a fool.
Goleman just doesn't die.
My Goleman does not die. He's freshly painted. We're painting up a lot of his friends. We are getting ready to go. Goleman is not taking this battle lightly.
The last time I killed Goleman was Overwatch with Tau.
No, that sounds like a Nick Goleman. It's not my Goleman. Is that Nick's Goleman?
No, that was Cass's Gilliman.
Oh my goodness, no.
It's been a long, long time since I played Gilliman. Because Nick, we had a stream bet the last time Ultramarines vs. Tau happened about whether Gilliman would go in and how many Riptides he'd kill. I did good amount of damage. Nick comes down, kills 1 Riptide with Seal of Oath and all this nonsense, and then I practically table him the next turn. And then Gilliman hides.
Goleman hid?
Gilliman hid.
Goleman would never do that. He's a brave Primarch. Brave and loyal son of the Emperor.
I think it might be worth splashing Dominions with Stormbolters or 4 Flamers, 1 Melta into a Sister's army to help deal with Incubi and Hellions.
Yeah, it's actually not the worst thing. Yeah, it might be cool. Sisters have some decent tools into Dark Eldar, so I think just kind of changing the orientation of their list is going to be the most important part. Sisters definitely an army that has the option. Honestly, haven't been going too deep into Sisters because I expect that there's a new codex coming with the, everything that GW keeps previewing for Sisters. I assume that means there's a book coming, but it's entirely possible I'm incorrect on that footing.
My thought process on the Avatar is that it works as a nice countercharge model for things like Redemptor Dreads. Also lets Eldar do double charges without fear of getting interrupted.
That's true. You can always Avatar Resurgent.
The Avatar is Resurgent.
Love that guy.
Yeah, the Avatar. I feel like he would get the max can only take a certain amount of wounds, especially if they keep him at 9
the
wounds.
Avatar doing that.
But
yeah, that's true. Because the Avatar's that's not a 10 wound model. Unfortunately, what we have. Yeah. Maybe if they give him like the Forge Roll one, if they like, I don't know. I just want a plastic Avatar. I feel like the way they're doing these plastic monsters, it's got to be coming soon, right?
Yeah.
Like Be'lakor was like, again, Be'lakor was smaller than a Primaris Marine, so like, you know what? I'm okay with him getting a new kit. But if Be'lakor is gonna get a model, you got to give the Avatar some love, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. And I'm not a big Eldar fan, but the Avatar
He's a pretty big
and
Eldar
Striking Scorpions, those are things that I would like to see.
Gilman tolerates one Xenos incursion.
Ooh, naughty.
Gilman doesn't die except when he's being dishonorable with the Silent King, and the Silent King smote upon his ruin.
Is that what happened? I don't remember
yes, that happened.
I have no memory of this act. That was Nick's Gilman.
That was you playing his Gilman.
It was Nick's Gilman. My Gilman's never died.
That was the sheer dishonor of it. Attacking the Blade Guard first.
Completely forgot that I had the Seal of Oath up. Felt kind of dumb about that afterwards. Like, oh yeah, I could have rerolled my hits and wounds into the Silent King. That might have helped.
John, I had 6 destroyers kill 1 plasma scepter.
It got better.
It was bad.
Destroyers
are so bad.
Destroyers are. We tried, and I respect the effort. But nope.
I don't want to get any paint on these guys.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Just because the water might drip over.
Yep. No,
onto the white.
Thank you.
I do not want that happening.
That's true. They're almost done.
Sisters could be the new AdMech, tons of new units and an older codex.
That's true too. Maybe they get like a campaign thing with whatever book 2 of this Caradon series that they're doing. Right? That's it. Yeah, it's Warzone Caradon. That's what it's called.
Car Caradon?
I wish. Get me some Carcharodons in here. Love my space sharks.
Are those new Invictor War? Are those Invictor War suits I spied?
Those are 3 Invictor War suits, folks, and we are getting them ready for action.
Matt with a £5 super chat. Hey guys, thoughts on the new Sisters of Battle Chaplain?
I need someone to come up with a clever name for the new Dogmata. Like the Nundum, Cassie. Like, there's got to be some kind of good name for this. I think she's cool. I like having more HQ choices. I'm hoping she's an HQ for Sisters. Unfortunately, we have 17 million elite characters and like 2 HQ choices, where it's just Canoness or named character, or a priest. But like, I want a Sisters HQ. So I'm very excited to get a new Sisters character. I hope that she's good, and I'm just excited to see all these new kits in general.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the Palatine's an HQ. She just doesn't have points cost, so I haven't been using her because that's important.
You don't need points, John.
I would much rather
use your
not.
Imagination.
It's an Imagifier. I think she's 0 points. That's what the app says.
The trusty G-Dubs app.
Yeah. That's okay, though. I'm excited about all the new Sisters models.
What do you think her litanies might be?
I wonder, like, are they going to do, like, a chaplain-style thing, or are they just going to... I don't know.
She can't just be a leadership buff. They don't need leadership.
Like, she could be an aura. She could be just, like, an aura of reroll hits in combat, or, like...
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's, like, kind of like the Litany Fate. I don't really know what they're going to do. I would love to see a mortal wound defense. Because Sisters are so good at anti-psyker, but they were like, yeah, all right, they've got anti-psychic, so we don't need mortal wound defense, right? Right. But then, like, anytime there's non-psychic mortal wounds, it's like, I have nothing here.
Bombers, Catan.
Yeah, bombers. I'm like, man, like, this sucks. Like, I would love a mortal wound defense. Maybe if she does litanies like a chaplain, put them in. I'd love to see that.
Thank you so much for that super chat, Matt.
Thank you. We really appreciate your support.
I just want Dante to be good.
Okay. The only thing that makes sense about how bad Dante is that he's getting a Primaris model in the campaign book, and they're waiting for that. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Because he is bad.
He is terrible. Like you can get to a point where like he's kind of cool, and I've seen people use him, and he's still a chapter master, but he is so much less flashy than all of the new character models that they've done,
including the other chapter master in his book.
Oh my god, Seth? Yeah.
It was cheaper and better.
So like, Is this just the fact that they didn't give Dante anything new? And I feel like that's because they're saving it for a Primaris status sheet that comes out with the campaign book. Because, if you give someone a new model, you give them a flashy new one, like how Khan gets his +1 to wound aura. Like, all of these characters have gotten something like that. So, I feel like there has to be something coming for Dante. And Dante's a boss, so he deserves it. I have no objection to Dante.
He's a major player in the Imperium.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the Lord Commander of the Imperium Nihilus. If I'm pronouncing that right, which I assume I'm not, but...
and he's the oldest Space Marine in existence?
He's the oldest Space Marine not interred in a Dreadnought.
Yeah. Still kicking in Artificer armor.
Yeah, still rocking Artificer armor. Get him into some Mark X, Gravis.
He could be the new... Have they ever released that Gravis captain?
Which one?
The big chunky one that came in the box set.
Like in the original box set?
That first Primaris Gravis captain.
Yeah, I think you can... Oh, no, I don't think they have, actually.
I don't think they have.
Like, you can get the bolt gun Gravis captain in the Kill Team box.
The one with the power sword and the gauntlet?
I don't think they have.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want him, so, that's okay.
We were thinking of bringing him in Leviathan for a little while.
That's actually true. We were legitimately debating. No, he was in the Imperial Fist that we were writing, right?
He was in both.
He
was in testing, yeah.
I didn't think that... I don't remember testing him in the Iron Hand version. I just remember when we were
Ruben
building
won Chapter Master.
That's true, yeah. It was a decent Chapter Master.
Where do demons sit in the meta?
Soup.
Chaos soup.
I think that the Slaanesh Demon list is unfortunately not aged particularly well, even though it had a really good run for a minute. But I am afraid that they are... I think that they need to be soupy and mortal woundy, because I think that they're going to really suffer into transport-heavy armies as well, so I don't see the Dark Eldar release being any better for Slaanesh Demons. No, we have a lot of great demon players. Maybe our one and only Mark Perry will be able to cook something up. So I won't claim that that's a final answer, but my gut instinct is that demons are going to go back to needing some allies to be competitive. That would be my guess. We will see how that pans out.
They're so close to being really, really powerful.
They are, and maybe they haven't previewed anything demons recently, so I don't know if they're getting anything new.
Well, Be'lakor.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, maybe Be'lakor. All right, Be'lakor feels like a campaign kind of thing. Because Be'lakor is actually very active in the lore for some reason. Like, he invaded the Phalanx, which is the giant warship of the Imperial Fists.
Yeah.
So, I could see Be'lakor doing some things.
Siegs, what armies are you playing in the RTT?
I think I'm going to go Admech and Tau.
Okay, that's where you're going then.
Yeah.
This is the we're deciding.
Yep.
Okay. And then John?
Dark Angels and Custodes and Guard.
Okay.
That's a little preview of what we'll be playing in some upcoming streams coming soon.
We are going to be doing a Streamhouse RTT.
I'm excited for that.
And we are going to have to record those videos tonight.
That's true. Very soon. I might do mine tomorrow because I need a rate list for both of those armies.
I got my Tau list already. Does the Dark Imperium Gravis Captain even have rules anymore? I love that model.
He does. He does still. You can definitely still take him.
Yeah, I think he's in the Codex, though, right?
He's in the Codex.
He just, I don't know if you can buy him.
Yeah, the actual model, I'm not sure about. He might be part of that. No, there's that Primaris box that comes with it's the new one because they did this for the Dark Imperium characters for Death Guard, where you can get a Primaris Ancient and 2 lieutenants and 3 intercessors and maybe the captain's part of that too. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
I'm trying to do these character bundles.
Yeah. Which is just releasing one of the start collecting sprees for the stuff that's out of stock now.
Can Lich Guard compete with Drukari melee? They seem too slow and fight last incubi. Would you cut them in your quantum shielding build? In the quantum shielding build, yes. I want everything in transports or have the speed of quantum shielding. So that everything's MSU.
Richard does like his MSU.
You want to spread out against Drukari. You don't want to be in one particular place unless you do outrageous amounts of damage like Grey Knights.
Yeah, because if they just descend on you en masse, you're
stuck there. Whereas if you pull them apart, they don't really want to be splitting their efficiency all different directions.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would cut them from the shielding build. Otherwise, they're not horrible because they're leadership 10, so they need to get a
Necrons have a
transport.
little bit more.
Yeah, they need to get the transport and everything involved to get them down to I'm going to reliably make them fight last.
And even that is still very fallible.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to go into Lich Guard and expect them to be fighting last, and they're not, because then they will pick up a bunch of Drukari models.
Absolutely, they still kill Drukari, no problem.
You could bring Auric in, though. He has fight first.
Did you get the stream key for Meta Monday? I
Um,
messaged 8 minutes ago.
I haven't been. I don't think I have now.
You can go do that, John.
Okay.
That's like
Dante and Primaris Sanguinary Guard is splash release. That would be amazing. I would
love that.
take Death Company as well. Well, they really need to do a jump pack version of the Primaris stuff.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
More traditional style jump pack, not the not what Plasma Scepter's got.
What's up?
Don't say that I just painted 90 horrors this weekend. Oh, I did. Pour one out for Sebastian. Sorry to hear that. At least pink horrors are legitimately good, especially if you're going to be splitting them. But 90 still seems like a lot. But it's good board control for sure. Were suppressors ever put into their own kit? They definitely were. I know you can buy suppressors. You can get them in the Start Collecting as well for the Vanguard Space Marines. Another RTT indeed. Yes, indeed. It's going to be another 4-man RTT. We're going to do this one championship style. So each of us is going to put 2 lists down, and then it'll be you get 1 game. And if you win it, you move on. If you don't, you're out. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to be doing videos starting next week. They're going to be talking about our list, our decisions, why we picked that faction, why we think it's going to do well. And then the following week is going to be when the RTT starts. So this is all going to be April. And then we're going to be doing lots of giveaways with that as well. We'll have a full announcement soon. Considering picking up Custodes as my first Imperium army, a longtime NIDS player, Custodes are great. They're an easy army to collect, but you do need to go to Forge World to complete Custodes. Their codex does not include most of their best units, which are actually from Forge World, but the Forge World stuff is extremely powerful, especially the Dreadnoughts. The Gravis Captain is eBay buy only these days. I don't understand why they never released it. Yeah, it's strange because he's a great looking model. Not the most meta, but it's a very good durability choice if you want a durable Chapter Master. For Space Marines, is it ever good to take more than the minimum 3 troops required, or less if different detachments? 4+ squads of troops ever good? The thing is, because Space Marines have Rights of War, the OBSEC aura, you can pretty much make all those powerful core units OBSEC anyway, like Blade Guard, so you don't need extra troops. However, they are very nice for playing the mission. Guerrilla Tactics is a great stratagem for your infiltrators or your incursors to help finish off scramblers or get you engage points. And what you're more likely to do than running 4+ squads of troops is run 3 large 10-mans so that you can combat squad them and make them wall we stands. And in that case, the 5 that are the ones you want to keep alive, you go ahead and use 5 on the mission and tagging things, doing whatever. The other 5 use guerrilla tactics late game and hide in your backfield so that they can't be killed. So you can essentially go into every game with 15 points written down for while we stand. That's where I would run more than the minimum 3 troop squads. Just make them big 10-mans. If you were warped into the 40k universe, what faction would you want to be a part of? And if a Xenos was teleported into our world, which is the biggest one you could kill yourself personally? Is this with me being a basic human? Because honestly, it's like Ripper Swarms I'd feel confident against. Even then, with a lot of them, it'd be tough. Grots, maybe Nick's little Makari Grot, I'd be confident against. But not a whole lot, honestly. For what Xenos I would rather be, I would like to be the Supreme Commander of the Tau Empire. That would be a fitting position for me. Shadow Sun doesn't have anything on me. Is going full Ravenwing via lots of OBSEC bikes and 2 Talon Masters Ezekiel seemed like it would be seems like it would play a bit well. Yeah, I think the speed of Ravenwing is very powerful. John is actually going to be trying out a list with more bikes and with triple Talon Master, as well as I believe 2 Dark Talons. So we might even see that in the RTT. Just mass Dark Angels firepower and speed. I think there is definitely play there. GOW's trend of putting new models into expensive box sets that are hard to get is getting really old. Piety and Pain sold out in like 5 minutes and cost $300 on eBay. The scalping is very annoying. I don't think they should be doing anything like these limited releases. So I would just say that we're doing a run of 1,000 for the first release, and then 3 weeks later you can still buy the box set, so don't go out and buy it from scalpers. We'll have more supply of it in a couple weeks. Just guarantee that to your customers. Don't try and do these one-off box sets, which is just silly. You can't buy suppressors on their own, only in the Vanguard box? That's bizarre. You would think out of anything, they'd prioritize these new unique models instead of more Primaris Lieutenants, but can't have everything, I guess. With you being a basic human, yes, maybe a Grot. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely beat up a Grot, no problem. Probably Ripper Swarms as well. Razorwing Flocks. Any of the little swarm models, sure. Probably go toe-to-toe with an Urgle. But not too much else. Definitely not Crude. On the Forge World store, the Telemon Dread and the Contemptor Achilles are showing as no longer available. Doesn't say temporary. Thoughts? I would find it very hard to believe that those would be discontinued, especially since they just got new rules. So, and that's probably just an error on their site of putting it as you can't buy it instead of it'll be back in stock soon. What are you guys painting? So John is working on some infiltrators for his Space Marines as well as 3 Invictor warsuits. He's going to be running Ultramarines into next Drukari on Thursday, and I think he wants to try out at least 1, if not 2, Invictors, because Ultramarines have that redeploy strat. So you can play them aggressively on the line in midfield, and then go ahead and redeploy them if you go second. Otherwise, you do a lot of damage, especially to an army like Drukari. The Dreadnoughts are becoming increasingly more popular because they have volume of fire, and they're reasonably tough in the meta. But one of the weaknesses of Drukari is just MSU efficient shooting in multiple places. So you can't overwhelm one particular spot, which is what Drukari does really well. I, on the other hand, am painting some Remora drones for Tau, and then I painted a bunch of Viorla Breachers, which are going to be used in the stream game tomorrow when I play Tau into Death Guard. Bought 2 copies of Piety and Pain from regular online store today. You just need to look around and you can still find stuff like that. Yeah, like local stores should still have a couple copies, but even then, a lot of local stores are only getting a couple from Games Workshop, and they're pretty much pre-ordered away, so... Mm-hmm. It's not easy to get some of these box sets. We've even had trouble getting them the first time around.
Absolutely. Which box sets are you referring to?
Piety and Pain in this case.
Yeah.
Is the question. Nick is here. Nick is here in spirit and in presence.
Indeed.
John, question for you. If you were put into the 40k universe, what...
Commissar.
You would want to be a Commissar?
I mean, I don't know, what else would I want to be, right? Other than reinforcing the loyalty of some Emperor-loving guardsmen.
You could be an Anchorite.
You know, I could be an Anchorite.
You could be an Anchorite.
I think I'd rather be the Dogmata, though, and put people into the Anchorite. That's what I want most, is put her in the box. Just anytime, Launcher Felina decides that they want to worship chaos, box.
Now, the flip side of the question was, if you were in 40k as a basic human, what's the strongest thing you could potentially defeat one-on-one?
I feel like I have pretty decent odds into a sleeping Gretchen.
Yeah, I said Gretchen, Ripper Swarms, if there were only a couple of them.
No.
One swarm.
Ripper Swarms are big. Ripper Swarms are the size of a dog.
They're the size of, yeah, but...
think of a Great Dane with, knives for teeth.
Still, you give me a good power sword. I think I'll be able to do good.
Okay. If I get a gun, then yes.
Okay. No, I mean, I wouldn't be with your fists, like Guardian.
Okay. Yeah, I think I could take a Gretchen.
Unless we're Catachan.
Yeah.
That would have to be.
I would need some prep time, but I might be able to take on a Gretchen with some prep time.
We would need to follow the Mark Perry Strongman routine.
Absolutely. Ice cream and push-ups.
To become
and
a
I can take on a Gretchen. That's about as high as I'm going, though. Ripper Swarm, I'm going to need a gun. If I have a gun, I can take a Gretchen, no problem. That's no problem.
What about an Urgle?
What could possibly withstand such reckless hatred?
Brimstone horror. Brimstone horror.
I don't know. They're still like magical and stuff. I
They're
don't trust
magical.
that.
They're Nurglings. Nurglings.
A singular Nurgling?
Yeah.
It depends on how sassy he is.
He's not one of Mortarion's Nurglings.
Okay.
That's poison.
All right. Okay.
He doesn't have the grenades.
All right. If he's not one of Mortarion's Nurglings and it's just one, I might have a good shot.
What about the Alchemicus Familiar?
No chance. The thing took down the Swarm Lord. What are you talking about?
Shank the Swarm Lord.
Absolutely. It's like walks up, like slams the beaker on the bar, and just like shivs this. Absolutely not. I can't stop that. Alchemicus Familiar or OP, man.
What are your hopes for a Tau Codex? Seems like they need a full-fledged rewrite. Would love to see Markolites rewritten. Want a lot of movement jank from Tau. I want them to be a movement-based army. Which they were in 8th edition. It was just everybody thought they were shooting army.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like more of that. More of being able to move after shoot or after Overwatch. Being able to use something like Wall of Mirrors, but a lot less restrictive. Being able to teleport a unit from one side to the other.
What the heck? Why would Tau teleport?
They have teleport homers. That's what the stealth suits are using.
What is teleport? I thought that those were like beacons. Like airdrop beacons. What is teleporting in Tau?
Yeah, they have it coming in from a low altitude mana strike.
That's not a teleport homer.
They call it the teleport homer.
Do they really?
Yeah, teleport beacon.
Oh wow! I legitimately thought that they were like, it was like putting down like a beeper, and like they were just trying to like.
No, it's an
coordinate
actual
the
little
drop.
thing that
Yeah. Okay.
But
I didn't realize that.
I would like to see more stuff like that.
Tau can teleport.
I actually have. That's why I have the recon drone. Don't
Oh.
tell Nick. It's the 2 CP strat. You can bring a unit wholly within 6 of it, but no restriction on where it. No 9 inches away. No. I could bring it into combat if I wanted, but I'm not going to do that. But I can come 1.1 away, shoot the airburst unit, and then make a charge move in. D3 3 up for mortals.
Oh my god.
I'm bringing the jank.
Ridiculous. That's how you kill some freaking elves.
Yep.
All right, support this. We won't tell Nick. Even though Nick is right here with us in the studio, of course.
Right behind us.
Right behind me.
I have problems with my Necrons versus Tyranids. Plays 5 standard with... he plays 5 standard with 7 warriors and 1 squad of indirect fire that shoots twice. And
I've got a pretty dope.
I run the Silent King with 18 wraiths. So that's probably one of the biggest problems. If you're running the Silent King, you need to surround him with core units.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that actually benefits from his rules. If you want to run the Canoptic stuff, I would go Custom Dynasty with the pregame move and OBSEC. And then you bring 27 Scarabs as well, or 18. You don't have to go full 27.
Stuff there.
Bring 1 unit of 20 warriors. If you want to check out a really good Custom Dynasty list, check out Nick Keever's list. He's one of my coaching clients, and he's won a lot of stuff on TTS. Check him out. Check that out on the Art of War podcast. Just maybe like 4 or 5 episodes ago. That's a really good breakdown of that list and how it works. And I was the main interviewer for there, so I asked all the pertinent questions.
Awesome.
How to play the list. So definitely recommend checking that out if you want one of the most powerful Necron archetypes. Why do you think Mortarion's a good choice in Soup, at least based off what you were saying earlier, but he's regarded as 500 points of not more stuff in Death Guard? Is it warp time?
It's warp time. Warp time is
When
make
he's
or break.
Yeah, when it takes him 2 turns to get to you versus he's inside of your army and you have to deal with him, that's 2 different things.
Yeah, it really
When he's
is.
right in front of you and he's about to just hit whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
the amount of time and how badly you can mitigate it are just so different in Soup versus Pure Death Guard.
What do you think of my Viorla detachment, John?
I think they're looking very nice. I'm actually really liking how they're shaping up. The basing looks good too.
Yeah, I really like this scheme. Not to dishonor the Enclaves, but Farsight came from Viorla.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's fitting at least.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got some.
It's
numbers.
still fluffy.
Yeah. If anyone's gonna do it, it's Viorla.
What do you think? Just the Palatine from the box set. Just got the Palatine from the box set. Go cheap with a bolt pistol, or go for the Rosarius.
Ooh, so I don't know what the points difference is on anything. I think I like a Rosarius. I mean, you've already got the plasma pistol, so like gunslinging is kind of cool. Put both in there.
Is the Rosarius the 4 pinball?
Yeah, she can.
Yeah.
So like she has a. That's it. So it's weird because her data sheet is that she has a plasma pistol and a bolt pistol, and she can replace and a power sword, and she can replace the bolt pistol with a Rosarius. But then the model is a plasma pistol and a Rosarius, and she can replace the plasma pistol with the bolt pistol. So like stock from the box, I believe that there's no like I don't know, honestly. Like I don't know what's happening there. I feel like there's something fishy in this scenario, and there's no towel in this box set.
Seems like this was rushed out.
It seems like a small error was made in the manual, so honestly, I'm just painting a lot of other stuff right now. If you're painting her up, you're already caught up in your sister's backlog that everyone has. I say you put a Rosarius on. I like the Rosarius. I imagine. Also, it's one of those upgrades where if you don't take a Rosarius, but she's holding one, there is not a single person that will notice. Sister's model holding a generic bead is not going to be a problem.
Yeah, you can always throw an extra weapon on her, on her waist or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's a much easier, if you end up making the wrong choice, or the meta changes what the right choice is, I think you just build with the Rosarius. That'll be easier to work with.
Remoras are sizable.
Yeah, Remoras they're cool though. They got a lot of flat surface though. So
they've got a lot of jank too.
With some aircraft, some mortal wounds, there's some interesting stuff there.
Just wanted more options, and they come with 2 missiles too, Remora missiles, as well as the long barrel burst cannons, and they're drones, so they get +1 to hit from the drone controller.
Yeah, that's super nice.
And they're BS4 instead of 5, so hit on 3s very easily. With the move to more dreads in the Ultramarine gun line, do you think dropping the Apothecary to open up more elite slots is becoming a thing?
I've already dropped the Ancient to open up the elite slots. I'm debating the Apothecary as well. I think I need to put a final list on paper and really see what that ends up looking like. It's definitely worth considering. If you go very vehicle heavy, then the Apothecary obviously loses a little bit of his shine, but that doesn't mean that he's just right out. I think I really need to look at what the context of the list is, because there's still plenty of good things that Apothecary can do for you. And also, if you have Guilliman and Tigurius, you may need a non-named character to actually carry some of the awesome relics that you have. Techmarine can't do it all by himself, although he will try. I love that Techmarine. I think Seal of Oath Rights of War Chief Techmarine is actually kind of a badass. I did not know that a Primaris Techmarine could just put out a casual 7 attacks on the charge until I was reading his data sheet, let me just double check the stats on his guns, and I was just kind of reading the rest of them, oh, this guy makes 7 attacks. Interesting. Wasn't expecting it, but I am happy to find it.
It's rare when John doesn't know every single Space Marine rule.
I don't know. I got burned on those Redemptors.
Yeah. Can you name all the guns on the Invictor?
I believe that they come with a twin autocannon that's 6 shots. I don't remember what the name of it is. Then 2 heavy stubbers. Iron Hail. I think it's an Iron Hail autocannon. I think it's a twin Iron Hail autocannon.
Yeah.
2 Iron Hail heavy stubbers, a heavy bolter, and a frag storm launcher. I think it's a frag storm assault launcher. But I like that their stubbers are Iron Hail because it's just AP1 into an extra shot. So, big fan of that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think he puts out 17 plus D6 shots per Invictor.
Seems good.
If you need to roll some dice as someone, roll those dice, baby.
Do you have a dark gray around here?
That seems likely. I'm going to look for it. Are you looking for lighter or darker than Mechanica Standard Gray?
That's good.
That's good?
Thank you.
Because I have other grays.
No, that's good.
Perfect.
Other than Talmasters, is there an auto take in Dark Angels? And other than Vanguard Vets, is there a must take for White Scars?
White Scars have some character auto takes, I would say. And I also just really like auto bow rifle intercessors. For Dark Angels, I would say that the Terminator Command Squad is about as close to an auto take as Dark Angels have. Just because Dark Angels have so many good options, but the Bodyguard rule is really, really strong in regards to what Dark Angels can do with Talonmasters and other things. I really like Talonmasters, in case anyone didn't notice. I think that they are just good.
They are just undercosted.
That's another way to put it, yes. Don't mind admitting that.
Are attack bikes out of your list because of Dark Angels? I guess that's probably meant to be Drukari.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't in love with them anyway. I kept playing them. You saw me take them on stream quite a few times, but I felt like there were too many matchups where they died very quickly, and I didn't get to really use them how I wanted to. I don't think that they're not bad into Drukari though. So I'm not saying that they're not coming in the list, but I wanted to try out other things here because I just didn't feel like they were giving me the answers I was looking for, honestly. Things like the Death Guard Volkite Dreadnoughts were definitely a part of that equation.
Is going Dread Heavy viable for Dark Angels? Couple of Relic Volkite Contemptors, 2 Macropassler Redemptors seem like it could be fun.
Absolutely. I think it's viable in almost every Marine chapter, frankly. Now what you supplement it with, with Dark Angels, one would assume like maybe tanks or Talonmaster, or sorry, maybe like aircraft or Talonmasters would be my thought, but it definitely is viable. I really like, and that's one of the reasons I'm painting up these Redemptors that we talked about earlier in this video. But I really just want to have those models to try out in different Space Marine builds because I think that they're super legit.
I play against Space Marine later as Sisters of Battle. What secondaries do I pick besides Engage, Linebreaker, and Scramblers? Think I won't grind them down against Space Marines. Feel like I'm destined to lose on secondaries.
Looking for like mission specific ones or having like an Allied Inquisitor sometimes give you some options.
Yeah.
Just plays like that. Sisters also, I like Scramblers or Banners. I like Engage on all fronts a lot. Grind them down is a little bit situational, but even things like Assassinate, you can make good plays to kill characters, and a lot of Space Marine characters kind of have to get involved. So Sisters are just kind of good at reactively coming up with something, frankly. If you need to get a couple points out of something, honestly, depending on the Space Marine build within the ranks, if they've got a couple vehicles, can get you a decent score. You're never looking to max it, but
Banners is pretty safe.
Banners is a pretty good one, yeah. Alright, well I have finished up these 5 infiltrators.
Do you guys have video going over what you bring to tournaments? Breakdown of what all exactly you bring to tournaments, like army copies, a list, dice, books, etc.? We don't have a video like that, but we can definitely make that happen.
Would not be a bad thing to do, actually.
Because there are actually a lot of things that we shove into our army cases.
Surprising, yes.
Things like chess clocks.
Chess clocks. Do not forget the chess clock.
So yeah, we could definitely work on something like that.
Yeah, that'd be actually a cool idea.
How's that Talonmaster coming along?
Oh, I'm just gonna put a little Agrax wash on the white armor, I think.
Agrax.
And then I'll just be about done.
Okay. What do Remords actually look like from Forge World?
I
doubt they're in the Enclave scheme, so let's see.
Yeah, probably not.
Remora drones. I need to know where the other colors go.
Mm-hmm. I think the guns might be what's the alternative color? What's the secondary color for Enclaves besides the red and the gold here?
Black. It's there's black, white, and red is the main colors in gold.
I think doing like a little bit of white on like the barrels.
The barrel edge and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the barrel edge and then like something along here.
Let's do both one gray.
Yeah, that might work out.
Celestial gray first.
Yep, gotta build up to the white.
Do you have Celestial gray?
Definitely somewhere. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where mine went. I have like 1,000 copies of it somewhere.
Yeah, there's a 50% chance that that's one of yours. I know I have some Celestial Gray, but I don't know where they all are.
Well, I got for whatever reason, I got a ton of all my Farsight Enclave colors, which happened to be really effective for my Necron painting too.
Yep. Richard loves his red Xenos armies.
The red just looks great.
It's a good scheme. I'm not knocking it.
How close to an event do you guys want your faction or list concept to be nailed down?
I'm most comfortable with a month in advance. Sometimes new releases throw a wrench in that, honestly. To give an example, I'm a little bit hesitant on picking a faction for an event I'd like to go to later this year, the Dallas Open, mostly because it's like May 1st, and there's an AdMech Codex coming in April. And I'm debating bringing AdMech, because I think that they're quite powerful right now. However, I'm not really sure what AdMech is going to look like at that point, so I've kind of just been messing around a little bit. I haven't really nailed down a single thing. So that does bring me a little bit out of my comfort zone. I definitely would rather know further in advance. Like my Tyranid list, like that I took to the Salt Classic, I definitely knew what I was going to be doing a month before that event. I knew exactly what I was going to be bringing. I was working on getting it built, painted. I was collecting the last bits like the Devil Gaunts, so I was very comfortable come event time, and that is what I prefer. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, when I did, when I won a lot of tournaments with Tau, I had been playing a variant of those Tau lists for a good 8 to 10, 12 months.
I feel like the meta changes a lot faster in 9th than it did in 8th.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just us trying to chase it, but...
Well, to be fair, when I really started playing competitive was the year where most of the books had come out already. And
That's
so the
true,
meta
yeah.
was more solved. It wasn't solved, but it was...
more known.
Yeah, it was more known what the options could be.
Yep.
So I just built a list within those parameters and made tweaks based on the event, terrain, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Expectations, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But usually, I once again, it's like the more reps you get with a list, the more that you're a master of it. And
Yeah, just getting reps is super important.
you will outplay most people, even if they're running a more powerful army.
As long as you know what you're doing.
So as someone from a pretty intense War Machine background, how come competitive 40K players don't use widgets or measuring sticks?
I don't know. I don't know what a widget is, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I assume it's one of those little gadgets that you put down and it has a certain measurement on it.
Okay.
Like here's a 2-inch coherency, that type of thing? Maybe?
Yeah. For me, it's just there's so many different things to measure that I haven't bothered getting like every one. But I guess like everything, 2 through 12 would be useful for like the charge distances. That might be something.
Yeah, there are people, like Nick has a 2-inch coherency little gadget.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, so you know what? I've honestly just never used them because they're not part of the mainstream, but it doesn't sound like a bad thing to have by any stretch.
Yeah, I think it's once you see a lot of people do it's kind of like the objective mats.
Mm-hmm.
Once the 3d6 mats became more popular, now you can see them in a
Yeah,
lot
now
of
I'm
different
surprised when I don't see them.
Yeah.
And someone's like, "Hey, do you mind if I use my objectives?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then they pull out like a disc. I'm like, "Let's use mine."
Yeah.
Like, actually, let me show you something.
Let's use the good ones. How many reps do you guys like to have with your tournament lists?
As many as I can. I prefer. I'm much more comfortable doing what Richard did there, where he had the same list and he just made tweaks of it. Where that's like I kind of did with my White Scars last year, where I think I won like 4 events with them, but every time it was a slightly different variation. But I was so comfortable with the concept that it didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
That would be my preference. Is just getting a ton of reps and having like a single concept that I'm working through. Haven't really gone to a ton of events yet this season, so as many as possible. And if I have to make a last minute change, then I'm probably gonna, order some pizza and get some friends over on a weekday and just rack out games and practice to try to get myself ready. Especially if it was something new. Like if I was trying to take Dark Eldar to a tournament, which, you can't rule it out. Then I would definitely try to get as many practice games in as possible.
Yeah, because it's been a while since John really played Drukari.
Yeah, it's
played 2 stream games, but...
Yeah, but that's one-off games, and it definitely wasn't optimal. But I definitely haven't had a ton of Drukari practice recently. Time to start building up, though. If there's a time for it, it is right now.
But even if you think back to when we played Leviathan, I hadn't played any Marines up until that point.
We did a lot of practice.
Yeah, we did like a month and a half of practice and worked through the different options of the list.
Yeah, that's definitely my preference, especially for bigger events. If I was going to an RTT and I didn't have practice, that wouldn't be a big deal. Right?
But LVO, yeah.
LVO, I would like to have my
It's a
list
different beast.
literally written a month in advance and be playing.
And we want to do more of that stuff in the Worm. So if
Absolutely.
you're interested in that, if you're Worm members, let us know. We're going to be putting out a survey this week.
Ooh, yes.
Asking a lot of different questions
about that survey, and especially to see the results we get back.
Yep, definitely. We'll post that on social media as soon as it's ready. That is exactly what a widget is. Perfect, yes.
Oh,
It's the
there
little
you go.
gadgets that have certain
The
measurements
little
on.
gadgets. Nice.
Opponent at an RTT a couple weeks ago said he didn't want to use my big objectives because he didn't like them. Not a fun game with him questioning every measurement on objectives. Yeah, I Some people are just
Sticklers.
weird.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I personally have not had any objections to them, but if your opponent brought their own and you know, I guess it's up to you two to decide what you want to use.
You just want to frame it positively. Like, there's no mystery when you're pre-measuring to those objectives.
Yes. I just like making it easy.
Exactly. We're just trying to make it so there's no mystery that you know exactly when you're on the objective,
And how
what
many
you need to
models are
roll.
on it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes it's like, ooh, you know, let me measure like how many models are on it. But, you know, if there's just a mat, you can do a quick head count. Like, who's touching this thing?
Yeah. Or how many models can actually reach the objective.
Yep, that's important.
It is
too.
actually a science.
Mm-hmm. Just makes the game a little easier to play, I think. Alrighty.
What would be your Breviathan Supermarines list for 9th edition?
I wouldn't say that there's a Breviathan list for the edition. I really like my White Scars. Like end of last year, I think they were just in a great spot in the meta. I think that it's a little harder for them now, but they're still quite good. I don't think that there is a single dominant army at all. Nothing close to that. That was an aberration, frankly.
That was them just
Flash in the pan. It was the perfect moment for that, and
yeah,
just happened to hit.
There's a bunch of rules that didn't get... Like, Iron Hands got nerfed.
Right after.
Yep.
Yep.
But even leading up to that, there was an FAQ, but it didn't touch some of the more... There were some broken rules in there that they just still didn't know. And
yeah.
we took those ones and we're like, that's a list.
This is ours now.
Time to go buy an Atlantic City Open ticket in a few minutes. Excellent. It will be excellent to see you there, Matto.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to getting to another big event.
Like we said earlier, we all plan to be there. We plan to have Art of War representing. So
absolutely.
Hope to see a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to it.
Previous big releases were durability focused with Necron's Dark Angel's Death card. Lots of lists were taking for that with things like multi-melted attack bikes. Does Drukari being very different change the meta? 100%.
I think so a lot. Yeah, I think Dark Eldar are really going to change the orientation that people have to bring, and that's exactly why I'm painting up some unconventional Invictor tactical war suits right now. Promise it's not to deal with the Dark Eldar or the Dark Angels.
Yeah,
it's for the Dark Eldar.
Yep,
it's for them.
But with Ultramarine Seal of Oath, that helps against.
Dark
Angels.
Yeah, you got options for sure.
But thanks everybody for hanging out. So like we said today, we got some exciting stream matches coming up. Tomorrow is Tau versus Death Guard. And then on Thursday, we have Ultramarines versus Drukari. Those are both on YouTube. And then the War Room, Mech, Forge World Metallica versus the Tyranids.
Can't wait.
A lot of excellent matchups this week. And then, like we said, there is going to be an Art of War survey, asking you all about the different services that we put together and your thoughts on them and how we can improve. And then there's also going to be an announcement for the Streamhouse RTT that we're doing in April. So look forward to those very soon. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. And